cheers to her. So we're gonna pop this non-alcoholic beverage to Miss Reesa. She don't know me, but cheers. Cheers to the girls' weekend. If you have not seen all 52 parts of Reesa TC's Miss Reesa's TikToks entitled Who TF Did I Marry? It is okay, there's no spoilers in this video, but I took out almost every lesson you can learn from her 52 part series about how she dated, got engaged to, and married a a pathological liar. Before we get into the video, if you are not already, please thumbs up this video and subscribe if you can. And also sign up to be a part of my Substack. My Substack girlies get to hang out with me in the chat, and they also get premium content. So whether you're listening to me on my podcast, here on the tube, on the Clock app, or on Instagram, you will be able to chat with me, and my Substack girlies are like my closest knit girlies. So make sure you are signing up for the Substack/vlog. Visit my website, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to this, and thumbs up this video so that it helps me out. Today's video is brought to you by actually Whole Foods candles, which I could not believe. I was like, wow, y'all have really good scented candles with a 40-hour burning time, and also it smells really good, and there are no chemicals in this. This is the Palo Santo and Rosewood candle, and I think this is soy as well. But it's brought to you by this candle, and today I am sipping on non-alcoholic wine, and this is by Toast. I have their sparkling white tea, cranberry, and ginger. So we're gonna be trying this. Contains no alcohol. I'm really excited to try it, and let's get into some things. The first lesson from Miss Tisa's self-entitled Who TF Did I Marry? About her marrying a pathological liar. Well, her dating, becoming engaged to, marrying, and divorcing a pathological liar. One, God can and will always turn something around to his glory. And I'm saying that to say she is not the only one I've said this about, the only one here on YouTube I've said about, but I'm not sure if you all are familiar with the woman who got pregnant by the random man from Atlanta. Her name is Morgan. I had followed her like way before like all the fame or anything, and just watched her glow up. And at the end of the day, and I told my friends, I was like, she's going to get the last laugh. She is going to get the last laugh. Miss Reesa is the same way. She is going to get the last laugh. Although this was not God's plan for her. And I know you might be listening to this and like, how do you know what God's plan for her or was not planned for her? Because if you listen to the entire series, you will know distinctly that is not God's plan for her. And how you also know that you're starting to get into things that is not God's plan for you is to know that if it goes against his will, if it goes against his rules, his laws, his will, then it is not God's plan. But at the end of the day, no matter how big of a hole you dig yourself into, how far you stray from the love of God, God can and will always turn it around. Okay, let's not. Oh my gosh. Not me shaking this up. I literally told you I was sparkling, didn't I? Okay, we're gonna let that simmer for a second. So yes, that is the lesson. God will always turn something around for his glory. And at the end of the day, after everything she has went through, after all the tears she has cried, after whatever she's been through this horrible story of marrying this horrible man, she, in the midst of 3 days, y'all, was able to gain 2.3 and counting million followers on TikTok, as well as get gifted the same BMW that the guy lied about getting to her. She's now able to go to London and Paris. She said that was her dream. She's always wanted to go. In a matter of 3 days, y'all, this woman has not only built an entire platform and empire, a social media empire with one platform. Now she can diversify. Now she can take off and do whatever. She got the car of her dreams. She got the travel. She's about to go to the place that she's wanted to go the most of her dreams, and God knows whatever else. So that is encouragement for you. If you feel like you've gone too far, you have not gone, you cannot stray further from the love of God ever. God will always turn it around, and you will have your full circle moment. Stay in there and always move with grace and humility, and you will see how your life ends up. Number 2 lesson to learn from this is, I've said this time and time again, and I will keep saying it until I am like, I don't know, until the end of my last breath. Please do not move your boundaries for any man. I'm gonna say it again. Do not move your boundaries for any man, really for anybody, but in this case, for any man. Reason being, when you start moving your boundaries for a man, you start showing a man that you not only are moving your self-respect to fit his mode and what he wants to do, but now you've opened yourself up for attack. Attack by the enemy, which is subsequently in this case coming from a man that was not hers. And she had mentioned this within 2 weeks of knowing him, right? She had moved in, well, no, even worse, he moved in with her. And she mentioned, this is one of the only times she's mentioned a friend in the series. She said to her friend, hey, and mind you, this is during the vid times. I don't even know if I could say the word, but this is during those times that we had, right, where everything was on the news. We didn't know what was what. We didn't know if people's limbs was gonna fall off. We didn't know if it was airborne. We didn't know really what was going on for real. And so everything was shutting down, and she met this man, and within 2 weeks of knowing him, allowed him to move in with her. And she mentioned it to her friend, and she said verbatim, I do not want to be alone. Her friend then said, but you don't believe in that. So lesson 2 is, do not ever move your boundaries or shift your values around a man. Because just like there are men, I truly believe there's somebody for everyone. Just like there are men and women okay with playing house, there are men not okay with playing house. There's really no need to shift your boundaries, because you will find someone who agrees with what you want to do, or who not only agrees with what you want to do, but will respect it, right? And this is leading into our next lesson, because she said, I do not want to be alone. Lesson 3 is to find solitude with being alone. It is okay to be alone. And I know that women, and like, we are taught subconsciously, unsubconsciously, we've been groomed since we were little girls to have a certain trajectory of where our life is supposed to go. And not only does society bully us to think, hey, we're going to be alone forever if we have certain boundaries, right? Like in the last lesson, oh, you have this boundary. I've literally had a man tell me straight up, Scout's honor, I told him I don't date men who smoke weed. Do you know this man told me, good luck finding a man because everyone smokes? Is that so? You mean everyone in your circle? Everyone in your reality? Because that's what you do. That's not everyone. Imagine if I were to listen to every man that gets upset that he does not measure up to my standard and scare me. One thing, and we're going to get into the fear situation and everything, but people like to pry and to prey on your fear. And her fear in that case was to end up alone. And it also was to get married. Leading into our next lesson, do not rush God. In her part 16 interlude, she had talked, and I love the interlude because she said it so beautifully. I think okay. I'm sorry, baby. In her part 16 interlude, she talked about how she knew why all this happened, and all this happened because she was so ready to be married. She was so tired of asking God for her partner, and she felt like God was not listening, right? She felt like God wasn't there. She was so tired of waiting that she was just like, okay, hopefully I'm going to get this man, and God will figure it out. I'm just going to keep praying for him basically to change, or just think that he is going to be okay. This has to be my person because I'm tired of waiting. Do not rush God. God's timing is God's timing. When you take things into your own hands, this is what happens. It's safe to say this is what happens, right? So think about a time where it doesn't even have to be about a man. Like, really, these lessons are just lessons of life. But in this scenario, in this series, it has to do with a man. And one thing I will say, these lessons have to do with everything about life. But who you marry, who you become one with, we're going to take marriage off the table, because you become one by having a covenant. And how you have a covenant is by sleeping with somebody. So let's start there. Who you become one with will show you the path of life or the path of death. And by not waiting on God and taking matters into your own hand, you're stepping outside of his will. And outside of his will doesn't mean you're outside of his protection per se, but there's always a lesson to be learned. Yes, she was protected from things unseen. We don't know. We still don't know why this man was losing all that weight. We're going to have to get into that on the Clock app, on the live. So make sure y'all tune into my lives every Thursday at 7 p.m. We don't know what she was being protected from unseen, but we do know that she had to bear the burden of not listening to God, not following what he had planned for her, and also shortening on her boundaries and her values. You don't have to be Christian to know that you shouldn't be moving your boundaries and pushing your values and what you care about to fit the mold of somebody else. Moving on to the next lesson. The next lesson is your intuition is never wrong. Your intuition is never wrong. And I know I'm gonna say it and it might hurt some feelings. When the girlies say, I don't feel butterflies around him, those butterflies, I don't know who marketed butterflies to be like a good thing around somebody. And I recently met a girlie here, and she had told me like, but I don't feel like, I feel butterflies around him and I love it. I didn't feel butterflies with my ex. And I'm like, that is your body warning you that something is not right. Something is not right. Something is wrong. And I heard a pastor say one time, it was like, when you know that something is wrong and you feel that something is wrong, don't stick around to find out what it is. It don't matter. Like, why does it matter? It's not right. And that is the lesson in this. Your intuition is never wrong. When you get that feeling like something is not, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on this. My body is telling me. Like, my being, my soul, my body. I'm experiencing, especially when you start experiencing physical symptoms. You ever been around somebody and your stomach is upset? You don't know what, your stomach is just upset around this person. Your body is trying to get out and trying to make sure that you feel this physically, that something is not right. Just like when we're sick, I'll give you the same analogy. When we're sick, right? For instance, I have eczema. Most Americans have eczema. God, we don't know why we got it, but whatever. Most Americans have eczema. And so what doctors do here is they give you a topical cream to put right here on your eczema. Totally forgetting about the fact that something is wrong in my body. They're just trying to fix what's happened physically, right? Okay, I feel queasy around this person. I'm just gonna take some medicine, and maybe it's just not even that. No, your body is there's a symptom going on. Deep down inside, your body is screaming, this is not it. I should not be going here. You should not be enrolling in this college. You should not be dating this man. You should not be sleeping over here. You should not be investing your money in this. You should not be saying yes to this job. There are things that happen in the spiritual realm that we cannot see, but we get warning signs from our bodies. We get warning signs from all over, y'all. Like this is so important, because I feel like some women, when everything hits the fan, they say, you know what, I knew it. Like, I was feeling so weird. And then I say, so why'd you continue to do X, Y, and Z? Or why'd you continue to go? Because I really didn't know why. It don't matter why. Run first and ask questions later. Just like when you hear them sounds, them bop, bop, bop sounds, what do? You run first and you ask questions later. The next lesson that we can learn from Who TF Did I Marry from Miss Reesa, self-entitled 52-part series on TikTok, is we learn the difference between a pathological liar, a compulsive liar, and a habitual liar. Did we ever sit to think about these? Because I know I did, and I just know like, okay, this man, he just got a lying issue. But I never sat to really think about the difference between the three. And in this series, we learned the difference between two, pathological and compulsive, but I had to take it a step further in my research and doing this blog, podcast episode, and YouTube video for y'all. What about a habitual? So let's get into these three things. One, a pathological and the guy that she married, dated, and divorced. A pathological liar is a person who lies in order to manipulate somebody. They kind of get like a high or get turned on off of the excitement and manipulating people and having very intricate lies. Like pathological liars will lie to no ends about anything, anyone, go get proof, falsify documents, have fake phone calls. I mean, this man was pulling out the bag of tricks, y'all. This man was not sparing any expense for his lies. That is a pathological liar. Now, on the other hand, a compulsive liar is often a liar who, well, in going back to a pathological liar, pathological liars usually exude these behaviors in childhood as well. But it is not really considered a mental disorder. However, it is usually in conjunction with other disorders. Moving on to compulsive liar. Compulsive liars usually happen in childhood too, but these types of liars, it could happen in childhood and adolescence when people are either like not heard, shut down from giving their opinion, and they also lie just to lie. So these people are typically not manipulative. They just lie for no reason. And compulsive liars, if you confront them about lying, they more than likely, outside of pathological liars, are going to say, yeah, I lied about that. Like they don't mind agreeing or fessing up. Well, not necessarily fessing up. They don't mind to answering correctly about their lies. Now, the guy that she married is not compulsive liar. He is definitely a pathological liar. And then moving on to the third type of liar, and that is, and oftentimes I think it can be also said as a natural liar. So I think we're just going to use natural liars. We have natural liars, compulsive liars, and pathological liars. Natural liars or habitual liars, whatever. These people often just lie just to lie, and they oftentimes believe their own lies. Now, I met a lot of these type of men, like, you know, men who just lie to lie, and then they start believing their lies because they lie so much. Case in point. Now, this is over the span of doing this a lot, not just one thing, but I'm going to share with y'all a little story time, right? My birthday was so traumatic when I turned 26 that I literally told myself at my birthday dinner at the table, this did not count. And from here on out, I am still 25. No, yeah, I was like, I'm still 25. This did not count. I made that promise to myself. Now, as time is going on throughout the year, mind you, my birthday is January 9th. Everyone, you know, I meet men, I meet girlies, I move, right? I moved to DC. People are asking me, how old are you? How old are you? It got to the point, I put 25 on my dating profiles, on my Bumble BFF profile. I'm meeting girlies, I'm telling them I'm 25. It gets to the point so much. I go to the doctor here. So I find a new doctor, and you know, you fill out the day, I give them my date of birth, and the doctor was like, oh, you're 26? I said, oh no, I'm 25. And they're like, no, I thought you were 26. And I said, no, I'm 25, right? And so the doctor goes to the computer. She's like, no, but I thought maybe I looked wrong. And then she's like, 97. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I am 26. And then I explained to her, I was like, my birthday was just so traumatic. Like, I just blocked it out of my head. Like, but I've lied for so long about not turning 26 that I started to believe that I was honestly 25. Now that is something a habitual / natural liar would do, but they would do that about multiple things. It sounds crazy, but maybe one day I'll open up and share the story about what happened on my birthday. But until then, we're not even gonna get it. The last lesson I want to share with you all on this video before we get into the rest of the things, you have to, if you want to know the rest of the lessons, you have to click the link and sign up to be a part of my Substack community, and you'll get the rest of the lessons sent straight to your inbox along with everything else, because my Substack girlies are my girl. Like, I feel like we need to make a name for ourselves. Like, I don't know. It used to be Money Mob back in the day, but I don't know about Money Mob, how that fits the brand now. But anyway, I'll think on it, or comment down below some of your ideas for our community name. So to get the rest of the lessons, click below and it'll be delivered to you. Sign up to be a part of the Substack. But this last one, I want to get into what a hobosexual is. Beware of hobosexual. Beware of them. Hobo are very rapid where I'm from. I'm from Atlanta. These men are very rapid where I'm from. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. North side to be correct. And I see this happen all the time, especially with women who move there or people who visit there. They are very easily tricked. Even people who live here. People are like, how are you dealing with this time? It's very, these men be scamming out here, y'all. A hobo is a man who uses women who have steady, like, homes, apartments, townhomes, condos. They use women for their place because they don't have one. You catch what I'm throwing down? These men are unhoused, whether they're like in between situations. I'm not saying, when I say unhoused, I just mean unhoused. That doesn't mean that they're out on the streets. And I think this is why some women are like, how are women getting conned into that? Like, how do they even know? And I'm just like, you don't understand. Like, you might think homeless as in someone that's on the street who wants to be on the street. Like, there are unhoused people who are just in between situations. Maybe they just got evicted. They're just in between finding a place. Maybe they've been crashing on their friend's couch. Like, life does life, and sometimes life does happen. So I'm not saying this to put anyone down. I would never do that. But what I am saying is that the issue lies in these men. They use women. They see, okay, this is a woman who more than likely is of childbearing age or towards the end of her childbearing age, and she doesn't have a child yet. She talks about marriage, so I know she wants to be married. So they kind of prey on women like that, or even younger. Well, I've seen this happen with my own eyes in college with a girl that was 22 years old. So they see that and they prey on that, and next thing you know, they invite themselves in a sense, or make you invite them in a way of living with them. And they use you for your place because they do not like you. They do not value you. They do not have plans to marry you, to really be with you for real. And this man, since he had plans to marry her, and he told her, well, yeah, I had to marry you because that's what you wanted. If I didn't marry you, I wasn't going to continue to be with you. So you also have to be careful with that. And like I said, there's way more lessons to learn, and they will be in my Substack. But you have to be aware of these men. Any man that talks about living together and you don't have no ring on your finger, and he's not a sound human being, not just a ring, I mean a sound human being, run for the hills. Because I've seen this happen with my own eyes. There have been women, but I dropped him off at his place. You don't understand. I dropped him off at his place. How does he not have a place? I'm telling you, these folks lie. And sometimes they go from woman's place to woman's place to woman's place to woman. Like, you might have dropped him off at his place, sis, but you really dropped him off at another woman's place, and you just don't know because you didn't go inside. You don't know. So be very careful of the sexuals, okay? Because they are very rapid, and they're prying on women in their places, mostly black women. But I digress. Now, moving on to the second part of the video, and why I want y'all to click and listen to the 52-part series if you have not, or listen to some of them if you have not, or go on Reesa's page and just like some of the videos and just show her some love and some support and uplift her. It took a lot of courage to sit up here, one, and tell everything and be very transparent, be very open online, and two, have to bear like people talking about her, people leaving hate comments and X, Y, and Z. I will say that this is, and I told this to my friend, and my friend was like, I don't know if you can say that, sis. I think you're gonna upset the girlies with this one. But I'm gonna say it anyway. This is really the only time we have seen a black woman go viral on the Clock app organically. She not slender, she not frying her hair, talking about some, I don't do wigs, I only do sew-ins. She's on the app as a beautiful plus size woman no makeup on, has her bonnet on some days, has a scarf on other days, has the wig on one day, on the way to work the other day. She was just authentically herself, and I have never seen a woman grow like that on the clock. You haven't either. I know you haven't. So you have to go and support her, because I'm just so happy to see someone who is not in proximity to this, and who is not like, oh yeah, you have to straighten your hair, oh wow, I'm not wearing wigs, oh yeah. Like I get it, because it gets to the point where the clock app, and yes, there are some anomalies, but let's be real, we know the clock app's algorithm does not push as much certain people in their looks. They don't push certain groups. If I have my natural hair on the clock app, they not gonna push that video as hard. That's just the sad reality of it. And so when people say stuff like that, and people get online and say, well, Jackie Aina already have millions of followers, baby. I love her. You know, I've been Jackie down since Jackie. Like, I've been down since then. But let's be for real. Like, let's not. I hate when it's like we talk about certain issues, and then it's like in real life where like people go, well, there's Tiger Woods. He was able to, there was Michael, y'all got Michael Jordan. Like, y'all got Jackie Aina, y'all got Clark. Like, let's be for real now. Let's, please. Don't put on a jean vest. So yes, cheers to the girls' weekend. Cheers to Miss Reesa. I guess maybe next time I'll be able to drink my toast. But y'all, don't shake this up. I guess I shook this up really bad, so don't shake this up like I did. But try out Toast non-alcoholic sparkling beverage and get you a nice candle that has no chemicals in it. Drop the Bath and Body Works, y'all. Y'all want to make sure y'all are not stinking up y'all places, because it doesn't stink, but make sure you're not filling up your places with phthalates. Like, subscribe, comment, click on the website, join the Substack, and I'll see y'all in the next video.